Instead of on all sides. Well, I am Christina, like I was introduced. I'm the intern this year at the Royal Norwegian Embassy, and I'm honored to be here giving this speech in line with tradition of previous interns. Dear fellow Norwegians, dear ambassador, dear friends of Norway, and fellow Scandinavians, congratulations today on May 17th, our Constitution Day. It's a pleasure to be here and see Norwegians and fellow Scandinavians gather for this occasion. For us Norwegians, it is a special day, and I venture to say that it's even more special today when we're some 8,900 miles away from home. May 17th is the day we celebrate our Constitution, signed by our founding fathers in 1814. And while it was considered to be one of the most liberal constitutions of its time, it is today the oldest national constitution in Europe and the second oldest still going in strong force. Our Constitution stands strong, and we are proud of its principles, many of which we share with you Australians. It underpins the values of which we build our societies, like freedom, equality, justice, and solidarity. On this day, we celebrate our independence, and in the period leading up to Norway's independence from Sweden in 1905, the annual celebration of May 17th became increasingly important in marking the struggle for national sovereignty. Prior to my arrival here in Australia, I tried to prepare myself through books, movies, and current events to understand where I was going. I read about bushfires and massive floodings. I was told that Australia has the 5 deadliest creatures in the world, and that of the world's 10 most poisonous snakes, they're all indigenous to Australia and should be avoided at all times. I'm off to a great start, I thought, hoping that my house was built in a tree where no one could reach me, and that the embassy had so much work for me that I would be kept at a far distance from this crazy wildlife. Upon my arrival, I was told about the famous drop bear, and was advised to not walk around in areas with big trees and the top of Vegemite. This was when I started to understand and appreciate the laid-back mentality of Australians, and that I indeed would have a great time once I got past the 16-hour jet lag, ignored the cockatoos outside my window, and didn't walk barefoot in high grass. Fair enough, I thought. Let the adventure begin. Through roommates, friends, and fellow interns, I've been introduced to many things typical to Australia, and I've loved every part of it. As far as I know, I haven't encountered anything that can kill me, and I hope it keeps going that way for the next 3 months. Eating kangaroo and crocodile might not be on my top list to eat again, but waking up in Botawang National Park with a gala outside my tent, doing the Great Ocean Road, and sampling wines from regional vineyards outside Canberra are unlike things I would ever experience in Scandinavia. And I understand this fascination for this country, cherish the many memories I bring back when I leave. History tells us that 100 years ago, Norway was one of the poorest countries in Europe. And despite Australia being very unknown and very remote, when more than 800,000 Norwegians migrated during these years, many came to Australia. They were not able to find work or even feed their own families in Norway, and they followed the hopes and dreams of a better life here. We have seen Norway go through remarkable transformations since, but I believe it's important to keep in mind where we once came from. In 2011, 2012, 22,300 Australians came to Australia. Norwegians came to Australia. There are many reasons for this, but I believe that some of them come from the wonderful people and hospitality one is met with across Australia. Your fondness for barbecues all year round, even in Canberra, and not to forget your breathtaking national parks right outside one's doorstep makes us Norwegians feel right at home. While Norway was topped the United Nations Human Development Index several years in a row, a score that affectionately gives it the title the best country to live in, Australia has followed closely behind every single year. Launched in 1990 as an alternative ranking that focuses on economic development, Human Development Index put people at the center of development. The Human Development Index therefore measures average achievements in a country based on the dimensions of a long and healthy life, access to knowledge, and standards of living. These are all things that we base our values on from our Constitution and explain why we travel between our countries so effortlessly, I would say. A great number of Norwegians and Scandinavians make a home away from home in Canberra yearly, and some even settle here in Canberra. There is therefore an open-minded and unified community of Scandinavians here, and it is a pleasure to celebrate our National Day amongst our neighbors from other Nordic countries. People from Norway and Australia alike are adventurous, and we enjoy taking on new challenges. Recently, the Norwegian king visited the rainforest of Brazil. He stayed in a local village, slept in a hammock for 3 nights, and ate the local food. I'm therefore very proud to be a citizen of a country in which the head of state dares to explore other countries and habits to such a degree. It seems as if it's embedded in our blood to travel. Every year the embassy has, on behalf of the Norwegians who live in Australia, sent greetings to Their Majesty King Harald V and Queen Sonja in Oslo on the occasion of our National Day. I therefore am honored to pass on the greetings from the King and Queen to the Norwegians in Australia as we gather to celebrate today. The embassy received the following message from the Royal Palace, and an English translation as the text follows. Thank you for your friendly greetings and extend to the staff at the embassy, the Norwegian honorary consulates, and all other Norwegians in Australia, Cook Islands, Fiji, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, and Tuvalu our best wishes on the 17th of May. Let me hereby express the embassy's gratitude to the Scandinavian Australian Association for arranging this great occasion. Please join me in a round of applause for the association and their kind effort. This was the one part I didn't want to do because I've never done it. My 2 colleagues here promised they would help me, so we'll do typical Norwegian tradition of cheering 3 times hooray for our royal family, our constitution, and for Norway. So I'll say hip hip, and then you say hooray. Got it? Yes. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Now, thank you very much, Christina, for a fantastic speech. It is a great tradition that our young people, in the spirit of 17th of May, is coming out and talking about their experiences in Australia, their love for Norway, and for the future. But one of the things that are very important is that we keep our roots as we all progress again into the future. So may I please all ask you to join together in singing the 1st and the 7th verse of the Norwegian anthem. I will start, but I want you guys to help me. It is not an easy anthem to sing.
Okay.